and welcome to Nuclear Reactor, and today we'll be reacting to Masakox, the darker side of Goku. I hope y'all are enjoying my reactions, even with how sporadic they are. I'm doing what I can, but it's just hard right now to get the time to get these reactions out, so I apologize for that, but I hope y'all enjoy them nonetheless, and let's get started with this. Oh, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you don't mind, because it helps with the analytics and everything to actually get my channel more seen, so I can better my channel's doing, the more I feel like y'all appreciate it, so I'll get more out to y'all. And I really do appreciate all y'all. So I hope y'all enjoying these, and let's get started.
Hunger is the path to the dark side. Hey guys, Masakox here. Yes, today we are taking into account something that was all the rage just a couple of years back, when the Tournament of Power was formed, off of the back of a particular character's fascination in taking on strong opponents. I mean, yeah, that's not something new or anything, of course, it's been with him for years. However, this specific action, despite it being written a little weirdly at points, brought to light the idea that this guy may not be as simple nor as clean-cut as we all thought he was when we hark back to the early days of the 2000s, when Dragon Ball was at its most hype in our minds. Today, we explore the darker and more mysterious side of Son Goku. Not Goku Black, though. I mean, we're not going that dark. Goku's been with us.
No, but I have seen many areas where the darkness seems to slip through Goku. So maybe his concussion he had as a baby wasn't completely all healing of his urges to kill and shit.
Goku's been with us for 36 years now, since his debut in Shonen Jump circa 1984, and has recently shown himself around the streets of New York at the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. Not in the likes of Jump Force, though. You know,
I didn't know Goku was in it, though.
In any case, with that particular debut around Manhattan, Goku and the likes of the show he is attached to have firmly established themselves in the public consciousness as a positive hero and role model, as well as being a very interesting as well as profitable character to showcase to fans around the world. Having said that, there's something that a lot of people and casual observers have not really considered. Is Goku really that pure and heroic as we are led to believe by the public perception? Yes, we know the obvious components of his persona. He is a pretty selfish guy and often perceived to be a bad father and role model, but, I mean, if you played the Kakarot game recently and actually spent some time not looking at the memes...
Well, I mean, he wouldn't be, if he wasn't pure, he wouldn't be able to wield the spirit bomb, though. So, I mean... plot hole.
At the memes, Goku isn't that bad. But today, though, we are going to look at some of the darker sides of his personality and try to find some in-world explanations for his more questionable decisions. Now, we're not just going to be only going on an editorial rampage or anything like that and just speculating and conjecture like we usually do. I mean, okay, a little bit, but we're trying to come up with a reason that actually works in the Dragon world. But before we get into the universe-based reasons, it is imperative to understand Toriyama's stance on the character, because his perception of Goku has changed over time considerably, especially over the course of this guy's particular involvement within the world of manga. When he was asked what is Son Goku to Toriyama-sensei, the author once replied along the lines of this. At any rate, I wanted him to have the sense of being that rare guy who seeks only to become stronger than before. So much so that it feels like there's no one as pure as this person. And while he does end up saving everyone as a result of that, he himself at least has a very pure sincerity about wanting to become stronger. What I wanted to depict the most was the sense that he might not be a good guy at all, although he does do good things as a result. Now, for regular viewers of our channel, this particular segment is nothing new. Goku likes to fight strong guys, big deal. But Goku didn't start off that way. Before he met Krillin and took Roshi's training seriously, when we see him in the first episode, Goku was a blank slate basically, and a mook to Bulma in order to find the Dragon Balls. He just wanted to tag along because it was something to do. He just so happened could turn into a monkey, though. But despite the initial obviousness, it is very important to realize that Toriyama, in that statement, invites the possibility of Goku not being a wholly good guy as we know it. Just someone whose interests and goals just so happen to be close to what the people around him want, not the other way around. If Goku had the same values and were just in the Freezer Force, then he might have helped them, so long as the Force gave him what he wanted. And I'm not just talking about food or anything like that. Later in the same interview, both Akira Toriyama and Masako Nozawa, the voice of Goku in the Japanese dub, clarify in what ways that Son Goku and Toriyama-sensei are similar. I guess his aspect of only going to places he's interested in resembles me a bit. Oh, and also how he hates acting big and tough. I feel like that's similar to me. You're God in this world though, Toriyama-sensei, right? But I'm not all high and mighty or anything. No. I think that Akira Toriyama equals Son Goku all the time, as far as I'm concerned. He really does become an adult, though, and he isn't really aware of it himself, like, I want to do something like this, or I want to do that, before he realizes it, naturally, while he's meeting up with everyone. He has battles as well, and while he's experiencing all these different things, it just naturally becomes ingrained into him, into his body, into his big
I never
heart.
knew any of this.
It certainly is, though, maybe. He doesn't seem like he's grown, but in that sense he certainly has. I think he absolutely has. So while both of these statements seem to be a bit contradictory on first glance, let's look at the individual instances of certain behaviours. For starters, the most infamous one, his parenting skills. It has been somewhat infamous and a butt of many jokes to call Goku a bad father. But is he really that bad?
He's not
of
a father,
parent?
Piccolo is.
For starters, if we were to use a standard real-world definition of fatherhood, we would probably not consider Son Goku as someone fit for parenting. Now, don't get us wrong. Very few people are ready for parenting right from the start. And that's okay. You have no clue. I'm sure I'll be a pretty hopeless father when I have kids, but I will do my best to try and learn and provide a loving environment for my family. I want to be a good father, and I'm pretty sure Goku feels the same way. Now, when Gohan arrived, Goku never showed any willing malice or an uncaring nature towards his children. His failure comes from a different avenue, and is connected to how he views family in the first place. Since Saiyans are supposed to have no affection towards family or friends instinctively, probably for the sake of reducing stress, does this actually make Vegeta, who holds his family and wife very dear, an even stranger as well as kinder Saiyan than Goku? Vegeta, whose pride had been deeply wounded, sought help from Bulma, and little by little his ruthless personality changed. Nowadays, you certainly might be able to say that Vegeta holds his wife and family dear. On the other hand, Goku might not have a sense of family members like Gohan and Chi-Chi, except as one of his companions. This is a very vital piece of information that we've already talked about and discussed on this channel multiple times, but despite the frequency of this quote, it is a very major quotation. What cannot be denied is that Goku does care about his family and tries to adapt himself to the role of the father in the Earth sense, but his understanding of said role is not conventional. He views the more fun-loving and playful side of the role, either having fun with his progeny or protecting them, a trait that he extends to all of his friends. When it comes to the daily routine of parenthood, though, he isn't all that clued up, nor is he actually trusted by Chi-Chi in reality. In that sense, his relationship with Gohan is only a little bit more special than his relationships with other companions, friends. And while he is very fond of his son, he doesn't fully grasp familial connections. So, does that make him a bad father then, Masako? Possibly, by regular human standards, but for a Saiyan, he seems to be pretty involved in the growth of his children, and definitely is far from terrible. Don't be Saiyanist. I mean, if you want to think about that way, you could call Bardock a terrible father. And whilst it's true he's not exactly a shining role model for fatherhood, he is far from bad. He does things to the best of his abilities. Still though, that leads us to some more incriminating pieces of evidence for this study. His relationship with others. On one hand, when something does happen to his companions, he does get really agitated about it, and is willing to go the extra mile, to great lengths even, to protect them. The most notable example? Krillin and Tambourine. I mean, need I say more? We could also never forget how he snapped at Jiren during the Tournament of Power most recently, when the alien lost his temper because he wasn't getting his own way, absolute strength wasn't working, and he lashed out at the Universe 7 stands, Goku having to step in. This has led us to the whole moral lesson about Goku always being there for his friends, showing him almost as an object of worship for the group, not just a regular friend. We mentioned back then, and want to mention it today again, that this felt pretty shoehorned in, because Goku in the past has had no problem in putting his friends into dangerous situations, and he has felt pretty unfazed by the prospect of universal destruction in the past. Even going as far as showing some behaviours that could be described and attributed to people who are utterly devoid of social empathy, when Beerus called him out. He is very sure that everything is going to be just fine. He's delusional sometimes, even though he potentially endangered lives in 8th universe.
He really is. All he cares about his friends, as Masakox said, and sees them as his companions, but at the same time, he just cares about fighting the stronger and stronger opponents, no matter the consequences to others who are not, like, say, very close to him and stuff. He just, like, ignores it and blows it off.
Universes. We often say that Vegeta is the proud one, but his ego, when you look at it, comes nowhere close to Goku's. It's just less obvious. Goku believes that he and his allies can handle anything, but in reality, they really can't. They can only go so far. You know what? I think this whole thing started to reach its peak after the Buu saga, the last time when Goku actually showed any sense of maturity, when he asked Vegeta to put aside his differences and just get on with saving the world. Goku got so used to things going his way that he rarely considers the possibility of genuine defeat. That's why Roshi's passing caused such a drastic emotional outbreak. But wait, didn't Goku lose to Beerus before then? Well, how did he handle that? Well, yes, technically, but Goku didn't view that as an actual defeat. To himself, this is just the start of many more battles to come with the kitty cat. Or at least that's how his mind played it out upon repeated playbacks. In any case, something did not go his way, and Goku did not or could not admit that to himself. This is also the reason why I believe he decided to fuse against Broly in the movie, a thing that many people consider to be somewhat of an irregularity in regards to his usual behaviour in the sense of adversity. In the end though, the Tournament of Power...
I'm going to do my very best before the summer is over to react to that full movie, and I'll put that as like the first video on my Patreon. But I'm sick of getting these different little spoilers here and there when I haven't had a chance to watch the freaking movie yet. Damn it.
Has left a lasting change in Goku. But
I've been avoiding
we needed some
like the
time
plague.
away from that arc to actually notice the results of it. To sum things up, Goku is partial to endangering his friends due to his overconfidence, both in himself and his allies. He thinks that the Dragon Team as a whole are unbeatable, a fact that was mostly true until the Cell Saga, and that was something that hit him hard during the Cell games when he realised that might not be the case, but it was quickly forgotten about after Gohan's victory. Now, both of these 2 points connect with the third one, Goku's weird attitude in training others. Now, this is the big one. This is a common trope, also to Goku being a bad dad. Goku doesn't like to share his techniques, or more accurately, techniques that he got from other people. He doesn't teach anyone the Spirit Bomb or instant transmission, he rarely shares techniques, save for the Kamehameha obviously, and the only person who got some real gains in being trained by Goku was Gohan, and only then that was due to the fact that the latter was part of the former's plan. So why does he refuse to train Pan, something that he actually promised to do, I remind you, or teach his older friends actual useful stuff, but yet is very eager to help total strangers like Caulifla, Oob, Broly? So much double standards here. You see, for Goku, everything is a fight. Note how every single one of his students seems to be pretty challenging to master. Goku doesn't like easy challenges and simply gets bored of people who just follow his lead and take direction without any question or difficulty. This may be sad to hear, but seeing how bad he is at keeping in touch with his older friends, you can simply see that long-term relationships aren't really in our Saiyan's best interests. He's just not keen to stay in contact aside from sparring. He doesn't stop caring though, but he feels that a friendship once earned can be put on the shelf for a while and then brought back down again when it suits him, not the friend. It is treasured, and he will protect
Seems
said friend,
right.
but he's more interested in befriending harder people, the likes of Hit, 17, and Jiren. For Goku, making friends and training people are other forms of combat, and giving others means to solve problems would take a lot of his personal enjoyment away. That's why, in our opinion, he is pretty reluctant to share some more refined and difficult techniques with others. He also encourages people to grow on their own. This isn't from an altruistic point of view or anything. It's for a pretty selfish reason, which we've discussed in one of our past Oob videos. Goku just wants something to do. So, in closing, Goku's massive ego and singular interests cause him to be blind to some pretty obvious social cues. He sees befriending people as a sort of conquest, rather than as a natural part of building social skills or close friendships, and believes himself to be entitled to friendships instead of having to earn them from repeated acts of kindness and support, and similar interests. But this isn't helped by the fact that some of his friends actually idolize him in a way, and they kind of let him get away with it. And we're looking at you, Krillin, in particular. Goku's not a malicious person or anything like that, but in time, he's become a true opposite of Vegeta. Someone who, despite his harsh exterior, has a lot of internal warmth. Goku, on the other hand, feels more approachable, but when you start to scratch the surface, you can quickly find out that he is mostly interested in you only because you are strong. Or you're interesting. Goku has his own personal interests in starting or pursuing a relationship. And this is what we think is the darkest and most fatal flaw of Goku as a protagonist. So what do you guys think? Do you see Goku as a good guy, an anti-hero, or just a silly?
No, I agree. Now thinking back on all that, I agreed to some extent before, but seeing all this lined up, he's right. That makes me sad. Childhood ruined.
Silly bloke. Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later.
What'd y'all think, though? Let me know down in the comments below. And I hope y'all enjoyed my reactions, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, please. It really helps me out a lot. Because only, I think it was 15% of my views were subscribers. The rest from a lot of the past videos I put up were from people not subscribing and stuff. So then that doesn't help my analytics to get my channel more noticed. So it doesn't give me a lot of reason to keep doing these if y'all aren't going to help me help you. I'm trying to do this for y'all, but I need it to be able to be more seen. I think that's really why I took that hiatus for a little bit, as well as literally not being able to get to the videos as much. So please just help me out some. I really appreciate it, and I hope y'all enjoyed the reactions. Until next time, peace.